Welcome to today's webinar, Getting Started with Book Widgets for Creating Interactive Content and Auto-Graded Assignments in Microsoft Teams. My name is Kate Baker. I am a veteran educator. I taught high school English for 20 years before joining the BookWidgets team, and I am the head of community engagement here at BookWidgets. I'm also the coordinator of the BookWidgets Ambassador community. And joining me today is Frederick from support. So if you've ever sent an email to support@bookwidgets.com, he is probably the one that has answered your email. So he'll be helping out today. So if you have any questions throughout our time, you can drop them in the chat. We'll be keeping an eye on the chat throughout the webinar, but then we'll also have that Q&A period towards the end. All right. So if you are new to BookWidgets, BookWidgets is a content creation and evaluation tool for teachers. We save teachers time and energy by providing the tools to support your students' learning process from beginning to end with 40 customizable widget templates and 36 different question types, 30 of which are auto-scored, all of which for building a variety of professional and interactive lessons designed to enhance your students' engagement, comprehension, and assessment. And when you integrate BookWidgets into a learning management system like Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, Moodle, Canvas, and more, you can use live widgets to keep an eye on your students' progress in real time. So today I'll be focusing specifically on using BookWidgets with Microsoft Teams. You can see our previous webinars on using BookWidgets via the web and Google Classroom, and also check out some tutorials we have for Moodle and Canvas if you are using those learning management systems. And whether you are using BookWidgets via the web or an LMS, our reporting dashboard with insightful statistics makes it easy to review student work and efficiently provide scores and feedback. So now that you have an idea of the capabilities, let's go see how BookWidgets can be used in Microsoft Teams. So I'm going to switch over to a different window. Whoop, and go to my Teams. So here I am in Microsoft Teams. You can see I have two different classes. I'm in the teacher view. I'm also using the web version of Microsoft Teams. You can download their client and have, Microsoft Teams program pop up. But for today, I'm showing you the web version. So we're going to go to one of our classes. So I'm going to pop here into Humanities. And you can see that I have my Humanities class, and I already have some assignments loaded in. If I come over here to Assignments, and then I'm going to hit the button Create down here at the bottom, the purple one. We're going to create a new assignment so that I can show you where do you find BookWidgets. So you always want to give your assignment a name. I'm just going to call it Capitals Practice for today. You can add in your additional instructions for Microsoft Teams, your due date, what class. If you're going to differentiate your instruction, send it to all students, all current and future students, or doing individuals or groups. So that's all Microsoft Teams based, adding a rubric, point value, etc. But I'm going to come down here in the bottom, and we're going to click on Apps. And this will open up the app launcher in Microsoft Teams. If you don't already have BookWidgets listed there like I do, you can search for BookWidgets using the top bar and just typing it in. So I'm going to click on BookWidgets. And then you'll see it is opening up BookWidgets inside of Microsoft Teams in this window. So for those of you that may be familiar with BookWidgets in the web version, you'll notice that we don't have, nor do we need, that top navigation bar. We're brought directly to My Widgets, And here you can select a previously created activity or create a new one to add to your team's assignment. If you have other groups or folders that you use, you can click on the menu here to access your other courses and classes that you may have widgets created with. Okay, so I'm just going to close that. So we're going to start from scratch and we're going to create a brand new widget. So we're going to click that green create a widget button. And then this opens up our widget library where you can see all of our 40 different widget templates. So all teachers from all subject areas and grades can use BookWidgets. We have 40 different widget templates for you to plug in your instructional content to create an endless number of interactive and auto-graded worksheets, video quizzes. We have jigsaw puzzles, word search, pair matching, bingo cards. We have pictures and videos like a hotspot image. Before and after is a lot of fun. We also have, a piano player. There's some math widgets. As I keep scrolling quickly through, we also have the ability to make some annotated Google Maps. And then we have our planner and checklist widgets to help guide your students in a learning pathway. So as I'm scrolling back up, you may notice through this list that there are some icons listed at the end of the row. So these icons indicate if a widget supports submissions for grading and feedback, and or if this widget supports live monitoring. So for any widget that you don't see that icon, just know that there's nothing that you're going to collect from your student submissions. This would be more of like an activity that you want them to do, to experience, and then being able to monitor it live to see how they're doing. So I'm going to just scroll back up through our list. So our 4 most popular widgets are our quiz, worksheet, split worksheet, and video quiz. And these 4 widgets are where you can access those 36 different question types. So they all have the same functionality. Worksheet and quiz widgets function the same way and have the same question types, but the difference is in the delivery. So your quiz widgets are going to show one question at a time, whereas your worksheet and split worksheet widgets are going to give you a long scrollable page where your students can see all questions listed. And then your video quiz does a combination. You can show one question at a time or multiple questions at a specific stopping point in the video. So for today, we're going to click on worksheet, but I encourage you to click around and play after our time is over and create as many widgets as you possibly can, all the different question types. All right, so we're going to go to worksheet. And when I click on this, you'll see that we are now brought to the editor, the widget editor. So we always want to work from top to bottom, left to right. You can first give your widget a name. So I'm going to call this Capitals Practice, just so I have it there. Okay. In the description area, you can add some additional information if you want to tag it with standards, or if you want to, list a specific class, like you can do whatever your little heart desires with that. Okay. Also, just something to let you know, a nice little tip when you're naming your widgets is you can number them. So if you're doing a unit of instruction, you can be like, unit 1.2a. But you could also add in a little bit of color or a little bit of whimsy and adding in emojis. So sometimes I like to do something color-coded, like blue or green. But you could also do something kind of like fun, add in a trophy, or, another icon to indicate like it's a practice. So I'll just pick this one here so you can see the emoji there. Okay. So I come down. The About tab is where you can add some text for you as the editor. This is only visible to you. And if you share this widget with other teachers that you're collaborating with, if they have editing access, they will also be able to add information here. So you can do list your standards. You can say created by and put your name. You can also link in any resources that you may want to return to. Citing your sources is always good too. And again, this information is just for you. I'm going to hit done. Okay, the questions tab is where you're going to add some questions to your widget. So we're going to just follow that blue bar. There it is. I'm going to hit the add question button to access our question menu. So this lovely long list that I'm going to scroll through, you can see we have question types that every grade and subject can use. From your very familiar like multiple choice or typing in responses, we also have, fill in the blanks, mark sentence, drag words. There's a table question, annotate picture, whiteboard, a photo question, put things in an order, crosswords, multiple choice with pictures, audio recording, some multimedia matching. Woof, the list keeps going. Remember, there's 36 of them, 30 of which are auto scored. We even have numeric equations, balancing chemical equations for you math and science folks, and then a rubric question at the end. Okay. There's so many things, obviously, that you can do with this. So let me show you an example that has all of these question types available. So let me just scroll up. There we go. And then I'm going to drop this link in the chat so you too can open this up and access it. Okay. All right. So we have this first question type is a text question. You can see you can make it rich text formatting. You can embed some multimedia. So we have a YouTube video that is embedded here. You'll notice that there's this green make a copy in my account button. I encourage you to click that and make a copy in your account so that you can see how every one of these question types is configured. So again, don't be fooled by the name BookWidgets and think that this is only something that, ELA, language arts teachers can use, because BookWidgets, we have question types and widget types and accessibility features that every subject and grade can use. So you'll see, again, very familiar, typing in our different responses. We also have, there's that fill in the blanks question, so you can type in a response or even do a drop-down menu. There's mark sentence question type, where you're indicating a category and then marking the sentences accordingly. Keep scrolling. We got drag words in a sentence. Correct words in a sentence. Fill in the table question. We have, this is a true false with a question table. Question table with multiple answers. An annotate picture question. So if you have a diagram, you can upload that background image. I'll show you how to do that today. We have a whiteboard question with some digital stickers that you can insert to help your students, use these tools to show what they know. So lots of fun there. A photo question is great for turning your papers into something digital. You can have students just snap a picture of their paper, one problem or the whole page, and then submit that to you using the photo question. As I keep scrolling, we have word order question, another word order. So we have parts of this and they can just drag and drop. We have a crossword question in addition to the crossword question type. There's picture ordering. So dragging and dropping the images into the correct order. Picture multiple select. We have the audio recording. So this is great for students to practice their speaking skills. We have word matching, word to picture matching, picture to picture matching, audio to word, audio to picture. Lots of multimedia matching there. Here's some categorizing so that you can grab and drag and drop. We have another text drag and drop, but this one has a background image to drag the items to. Here's another picture drag and drop. So if you're doing kind of categories, grab and drop. Picture drag and drop with a background image. A grouping question is great. So this is wonderful for being able to like kind of make a stack and group multiple things together. So we have words, images, and audio. So it sounds like a lion or a tiger. Here we go. I'm going to drag it over to here. And then I can just drag. I want it to go over this way. Let's see. I'll drag this guy down here. Yep. So I can group things together. So again, you're working not only intellectually, but also your fine motor skills. Here we have our ionic compound builder. So students can grab their different elements, drag and drop them, and then it creates a compound. Here's a numeric answer, another numeric answer with a matrix. Here's an equations question. So we do have the lay tech type for doing math work digitally. So you are able to do those math symbols. And then we have a rubric question for students to self-assess. What's great about rubric is not only are your students picking what they think to self-assess, but on your teacher side, you'll be able to also, click to say if you agree or want to say to your students, well, no, I don't think you were good. I think you were excellent. They'll be able to see that too when we get to the recording. So I'll show you the grading stuff in just a bit. But again, make a copy in your account. This is a great way for you to play and practice so that you can see not only how is it configured, but also to preview it like a student and to practice how that workflow would go. All right, so let's go back to our worksheet where we are making, and let's add a question. So I'm in my question types. Let's just start with something very familiar. We're going to do a multiple choice. Okay, now this is lovely that we're working in Microsoft Teams in this lovely contained window. But if you want a bigger view, you want a more expansive view, I recommend clicking this icon in the top right corner. And what it will do is open up BookWidgets in a new tab of your browser so that you can work with it in a more expansive view. So that might be a little bit better. Okay. So again, here's my widget information, my tabs for doing content and customizing the settings. And then now I'm going to add in my questions. Okay. All right. So for the question, we'll do what is the capital of Belgium? Okay. Maybe I want to switch this to rich text because I want to do some emphasis. Anybody know the capital of Belgium? And did you know that BookWidgets is based in Belgium? So we'll do whoops, I can type. We'll do Brussels. We'll do another one. And then just make sure that you are selecting the correct answer as you're editing, okay? As I scroll down, we have some additional options. You can do random answer order. So no matter what order I've typed these in, it'll randomize it for us. You can also do multi-column layout. If you want to help your students out while they are answering the questions, then you're going to want to use a hint. So this is where you can switch to rich text. You can, type in a message for something for while they are answering the widget. You can add in some multimedia elements of an image, a video that's linked or embedded, I should say, from a link from YouTube or Vimeo. You have audio that you can embed, as well as a table and a web page. If you want to provide your students, though, with a rationale after they have finished answering, then this will help them to see to help them understand why this question is correct and what is the answer. So the rationale is useful for explaining why something is correct or not. Okay. All right. As I scroll down some more, you can also add in your own audio. This is a great accessibility feature, especially if you're working with young learners who are emerging readers, or if you're working with students who are multilingual and they're an emerging language learner. You do not have to use a separate tool to record audio inside of BookWidgets. So you can choose a file. If you have something on your computer, you can import it from Google Drive, but we're going to record it live. What is the capital of Belgium? What is the capital of Belgium? All right, it's pretty good. I'll accept it. And then we'll see that that audio recording is now going to be attached to the to the question. I can also add a maximum play count. So if I want to just let my students, keep playing this, that's great. But if I want to kind of scaffold it and limit how many plays that they can have, I can type in a number. So I'm going to say 3. I can also add in another image, and then my correction and scoring options. This is where you can determine if you want this question to be scored or not. So if this is more of a practice activity, uncheck the box. But if you do want to have it scored, and if you want to change the weight, you can change the point value of it. Okay. All right, then we're going to hit the button to add another question. Now this time I'm going to pick a annotate picture question. So this opens up. Now here's our question editor. I'm going to say for my question, name the capital cities of the countries on the map. Switch to rich text. I'm going to say I want this bolded and underlined to reinforce what I'm looking for. And now I need to add a background picture that I want them to annotate. So again, when I click that plus icon, I can choose an image. I can upload one from Google Drive, and I can also find one online without having to go to the wild world web. So when I click Find Image Online, this is going to open up our Pixabay integration where I can just type in some keywords. And then bloop, there we go. It populates. So I can keep, if I look through these ones, I'm like, oh, there's some pretty good ones here. Let's say I wanted something different. If I come down here, it's a little cut off on the screen, but it does say load more at the very bottom. It will give me more images. And as I look, let's see. I'm gonna do this gray one over here. Pick that. Okay. And now I have to add my input fields. If you notice, I'm just kind of following the blue bar and it'll lead me in the direction I need to go. So you'll notice we have this hazard icon that pops up because I haven't yet determined where I want them to annotate on this image. This is just reminding me that I need to do this step. So we're going to open up the image. And now my little marker, I can move this around to wherever I would like. So we'll do this one. Then I can drag that box for the input. I can make it bigger or smaller. And then hit done. And I'm going to say that this one is London. I need to add another input field. If I don't fill in this correct answer up here, by the way, it won't auto score it. So if I want to make sure that this is auto scored, then I want to type in that answer. Okay, I'm going to do another one. There's that hazard because I haven't defined it yet. All right, let's grab it. Our little marker. You can also disable markers. So if you want to not have a marker there, you can do that, but I want it for this one. So I'm going to drop it there, hit done. But let's check that one again. There we go. So I'm going to move this over here, hit done. And now this was Paris for France. I'm going to add another one. Okay, let's do this one here. Italy. Move my little marker over here and hit done. Now for this one, I'm going to do a drop-down menu. Whenever you see this eye icon, the eye in a circle, click on it because it will always give you more information and give you some fancy tips to spicing up your widgets. So this tells me how to do a drop-down menu. So it's a little bit of kind of code you got to type in. I'm going to do select : and then my answer choices with the correct answers listed first, and then the wrong answers are listed after. So here we go, drop that in, okay? All right, let's go back to our list of questions. You notice I'm not hitting save because everything is saved automatically in BookWidgets for me. All right, let's go back to our questions list. If I want to change the order of my questions, I can just do this. I can just drag it up or down to change what order I want them in. I'm going to add, let's see, a picture audio. Where'd you go? Audio picture. There we go. Okay. And type in my question. Again, I can switch to rich text if I want. And now I need to add my pairs. There's that blue bar. Okay, there's my hazard icon because I haven't finished doing what I should be doing. Now the audio description, this is useful for you to remember what did you say for the audio. So I'm going to say France is my country. And now I'm going to record again inside of BookWidgets. France. France. Accept. Now I need to pick an image. I'm going to find an image online. And this time we'll do the Eiffel Tower. Nice. Cool. I don't know if anybody else is watching the Olympics. It's a lot of fun. All right. So there's our Eiffel Tower. I'm going to add another pair. This time, let's do Italy. Record. Italy. Italy. Accept. Gotta add my image. Find image online. I'm gonna search for Venice. So I like the canals. Here we go. All right, let's add a third pair. This one will do Greece. Greece. Accept. And gotta add my image. I'm gonna search for the Parthenon. I want my students to do a little bit of visual analysis. I want to make them work for it. So let me pick a picture down here so that I have to analyze it a little bit. Okay. And same thing as with the other question types. I can add an image to this if I need to, a rationale, a hint, some additional audio. another image, and then those scoring and correction options. You'll see it'll be 1 point per correctly matched pair. If I want to make it more, I can do that. Okay. All right, let's add one more question, but this time I want to show you someplace else where you can go to find it. So we're going to come up here to this top bar up here, and we're going to go to the cog wheel that's all the way at the right corner, and we are going to import from widget. Now, if you had a CSV file or you had a document like a PDF or a Microsoft Doc, you could also import questions from these types of documents. You can select the text that you want from the document and then pull it up into BookWidgets. So I have other tutorials and videos that document that if you check our YouTube channel and the tutorials section. But for today, we're going to do import from widget. And now this is going to take me to all of my list of widgets. I'm going to pick from this one, European Capitals Practice. There's that lovely little emoji. And I'm going to pick number 4 that I know is a short answer response. I'm going to hit import. Don't hit clear and import unless you want to clear, as in get rid of, as in delete these questions from this widget that you're taking it from. I just want to import. Okay. And now I'm going to go to my questions. And then here we'll see that question that I just imported. It's a long answer question. I don't have to type anything in because I brought it over. But I will switch it to rich text. And then I'll do my bolding, underline. And if you notice here in the keyword section, a long answer such as this, I will still need to manually assess my students' work. But I can give them points for incorporating specific keywords into their response. So I like my students to, restate the question when they are doing a short answer response. So I've included the word capital, city, visit, because I want them to restate these things. And then next to each one, I've given a point value. So if they use the word capital in their response anywhere, they'll get a point. Okay. And again, here's that little icon. This will show you very specifically how to replicate this. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to scroll down. You can see some additional information that, like, let's say my students capitalize the word capital because they started a sentence with it instead of lowercase. I can ignore the case. I can treat multiple spaces as one because I also have a show word counter here. Okay. And then I can also, let's color match keywords. All right. So we'll see if I wanted my students to incorporate some links in their response. Maybe they're citing sources. I can also check that box to let them add in some clickable links. All right. Rationale, hint, audio, image, correction and scoring options. It's worth 10. I'm happy with that. So let's go preview our widget and see what it looks like. So up in the top bar, we're going to hit preview. And this is going to open up the student view. I have not assigned this widget yet. So this is just me, the teacher, being able to practice in student view and to see if I like how I have set up my widget. Maybe I want to see how it looks for mobile devices. I can click this icon up here and resize it and then get an understanding of how does my widget look in mobile view. But I'll come back to resize. I might also want to change the design of my widget. So design features. So for those of you who are new trial accounts, you will see limited options. You will only see this top box here. But if you purchase a group or school license, you will see so many options for customizing the look of your widgets. So I can change this if I need to. If I want to make it a dark background, I can do that. That's actually not too bad. I kind of like it. But if I don't like the blue, I can always change a different color. But you know what? Actually, I think I'm gonna keep this one because I like how that looks. All right. If I needed to print my widget, I could totally do that too, but I don't need to. And then I can just play with this again as if I'm a student and listen to the audio, select my answer choices, type things in. There's my box. I'm going to exit out of the design for a second. And then remember that drop down we did? There it is. It now appears. So I can listen to my audio,
France.
drag my lines. If I'm looking at my images and I'm going, it's kind of hard to see, all you got to do is click on it and then it'll expand it and open it up so that you can look closer at it. So again, that visual analysis. And then here we go, typing in responses. You'll see that word counter down below has changed. I'm just going to delete that. Okay. And then submit for answers. Whenever you're doing the student view, make it a habit of practice for yourself that up here in the top corner, you hit the trash can icon so that you are clearing out your answers so that, and also the settings, so that if you go back, and now we're going to go back to the editor, if I make any changes, those changes will update because I've cleared the previous responses. Okay. So let's go back to the editor view. And let's take a look at some of these other tabs. So underneath questions, we have reporting. This is where I can customize if I want to have my students submitting answers or not. By default, enable submitting answers is going to be checked. But if you wanted this to just be a practice activity, uncheck the box. You can also enable exam mode. So if you want to make this a timed experience, you can give it a time. Okay. And you can also allow the timer to reset. If the student does not complete the activity within the allotted time, they will get a pop-up message that prevents them from continuing to work. And then they have to submit their work. So they can't continue, they just have to submit what they have done. Okay. If I go to preview now, you'll see there is that timer up here in the top corner. And then, yes, the time, I see it ticking down, might give me a little bit of anxiety, but then bloop, it disappears and becomes this little circle icon, little pie chart to show you the decreasing of time. Okay. So like I said, as you play with the widgets, if you do any answers, always get in the habit of clearing them with the trash can so you can, again, play with your settings and customize it, right? So that's reporting. Let's go to the General tab. Woohoo! Under General, there are so many things that you can do to customize your widget. First off, correction and scoring options. This is where you can let students see the correct or incorrect answers. You can let them submit a password to see those answers. If you want, you could color code your answers that as they're in the, doing a practice activity, they can see immediately if they are correct or not. You can have them show the score when they're done. And then this is one of my favorite things is feedback. Based on the student's score, you can deliver automatic feedback to them. So click on open up feedback. Click on the blue bar, add feedback. Determine your scoring parameters and enter in your feedback message. You can add in an image. You can add in some audio. We're going to do another tier of feedback. I'm going to say this is 70% or lower. I'm going to say keep trying. And then what I can do is also include some resources for them. So if I need my students, to continue the learning process, I want them to go review their work before they can retake this widget again, then I can, create a pathway of learning for them through the feedback before they go and retake it and show me what they know. And then I can determine if I want this feedback to be part of the widget, only in the widget, or only part of returned work. And you'll see what this looks like momentarily. Further down in our list of general options, strict answering order, you can have it so that the questions need to be answered in this specific order. Otherwise, it's going to randomize the questions. And same thing, or no, sorry, question order and numbering. This is where you're going to determine if you want those questions randomized. That's always great because my students would be like, what's the answer to number 1? When they would like do activities in class and try to talk to their classmate. But then when I had random question order, your number 1 may be different from my number 1. All right. We also have startup password, safe exam browser, spell check. If you're doing a spelling test, you're going to want to uncheck that box. We have some additional instructions. So if you want them to see these instructions before they begin their task, you can type in information there. Text selection and text to speech. This is another accessibility feature. So this is great for your emerging readers that they can highlight text on the page and hear it being spoken to them. But you can also make it a secondary language if you have your students who are emerging language learners. So if they're learning more than one language, look at all these that we have. Oof, there's a lot here to pick from. So I'm going to pick Swedish. You can also have an on-screen keyboard. So if you don't have physical keyboards, you can have one pop up. It also has some special characters there to make things easier. A scratch pad is great for, making their thinking visible. So it's kind of like a place where they can do some brainstorming. It's not graded. A calculator, you math and science folks, we can embed a simple or a scientific calculator right inside the widget. So even though I don't have any math questions, I'm going to add a calculator here so you can see what it looks like. And then we also have the equations editor and then some additional features here. Okay. Next up, the language tab. This is where you can set the text direction from left to right or right to left, depending on what native language, local language you are using. You can also enable translations. So if your questions will be typed in whatever language that you are typing it in. So like I'm typing in English, but then if I select translation, it will turn the things like the directions, the names of the buttons into that particular language. And if I go to, let's see, gonna come up a little bit. Let me go back to English. Okay, and settings. I can also save as a custom translation. So, which is wonderful. All right. And then design is where you can add a cover image to your widget. Okay, so as you play with these settings again, click on preview to test them out. Okay, so our widget's done. I have all my questions. I have customized my settings. I am good to go. So now I'm going to head back. I'm going to close out this window. And I'm going to head back to Teams. And you'll see in Teams, it says a window has popped up in which you can edit your widget. We've done it. Our editing's done. So now I'm going to hit save. It's processing our widget. Okay. Do I want the point value of the Teams assignment to match the widget? Yes, I do. Okay. Now I'm going to return to assignment. And then I can complete filling out any of this information here for my students. If I need to save it as a draft because I'm not done, I can do that, but I'm going to hit assign. And if you notice, over here is that drop down arrow in Teams. You can also schedule to assign it in the future. So let's say today is Thursday and you know you're going to be out on Monday next week and you're going to have a substitute teacher. You could schedule your assignment today to appear on Monday, which is kind of nice. But I'm going to assign it now. And then now we're going to see it. Bloop, capitals practice is in our Microsoft Teams. And I got a little pop-up that says it's been assigned. Okay. So when I click on this, I see that it has been assigned to my 3 students that are in my class, that they have not turned it in yet. So let's go pop over to a student account and see what it looks like for him. So refresh my page. I'm going to go into my humanities class. I am Sam student. And now I can see here's the work I need to do. Here's the latest one. I'm going to view assignment. And then I'm going to open it up. I got to sign into BookWidgets. Hot second. There we go. Okay. And then now I'm in it as a student. Okay. So we see up here in the top corner, your progress on this activity will be shared live. So as I'm clicking around, my teacher is going to see this. Oh, there's that color coding. I have answered it correctly, which is wonderful. Come down here. I can start typing in. Well, let me show you the magic because this is live mode. This is awesome. So let me exit full screen. Let me go find my Teresa. Go back to here. And we're going to exit full screen. Drop her. We're going to split the screen. So just give me a hot second. And I'm going to go to, in order to see live mode, I need to log into bookwidgets.com. So you can't access, unfortunately, live mode through Microsoft Teams. As the teacher, you will have to go to bookwidgets.com. And then you're going to click on follow to see the live widgets. And then you're going to go find your class. And then now I can see, oh, 1 minute ago, this was happening. And as I go in, I can see Sam's student. So Frederick, I see you've popped online. How's Alex doing? Did you get into the assignment?
Hi, everyone. Yes, I have the assignment open. Well, I don't have it open yet because that's what we're going to show. That's what we're going to show our attendees today. So I'm currently signed in as another student, a female student called Alex. And I'm now going to click the view assignment button. And if all goes well, then, oh, sorry, I need to confirm my login credentials. And now
You're
there we
in.
go.
You're in.
Right. And so that we so that we can see that this is live and not rehearsed, why didn't you tell me which answer I should give for the first question?
I'm not telling you the answer, Frederick. You got to do it yourself.
No, you tell me what to answer, whether it's right or wrong. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. You can answer wrong if you'd like.
Yeah, you tell me which answer to provide to the first multiple choice question, and then the folks can see it, how the
Go
thing
ahead. Pick
appears live
Madrid.
on screen. All right, there we go.
Yeah. And then now we can see whereas Sam got it right, Alex got it wrong, but you can probably change your answer. Go ahead, change your answer. Pick the right one. Boop. Yay. Now, I can, as the teacher, can stay in my seat and watch the screen as students are working and typing in. But this also serves as an opportunity for me to, if I see a student is struggling, like all of this is turning red, then I can get up out of my chair and I can go over and have a conversation with my student and to see if they need a little bit of, feedback and direction in the moment. So it doesn't just have to be in, through the computer. And then I'll pick there. You can see here's that icon on Sam's side for the scratch pad. That appears. And then as we do the matching, you can see what's going on. Uh-oh, Sam got it wrong. So this is really neat to be able to see in the moment, at the whole class level. But what I can also do is go into each individual student, and then I can see in real time what that student is doing and where they're at. So I know Alex hasn't answered question 4 yet. They're in the process of typing. Oh, and here we go. I see typing happening right there. And I also see that that Alex has used the word capital and has used the word visit. So they've scored 2 points. Let's say I want to go check in on Sam. Now I can just use the arrows and I'm over here and I can see where Sam is in real time. Sam is just not doing well with these. Maybe I have to tell Sam, you can open up the images and make them look bigger. All right. And then Sam is going to type in. Let's see. Where does Sam want to go? I have to do a little bit of classroom magic. Where'd you go, Sam? Oh, guess I didn't save it. But I can see as Sam is typing, same deal. Okay. And I'm just going to say I want to visit Paris. Period. Done. And let's make some spelling mistakes. Want to see the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre. Okay, now I see what Sam's doing in the moment. I'm going to hit submit on Sam's side. I'm going to send the answer in. Because I'm using Microsoft Teams, I don't have to have my students worry about like class IDs or teacher ID because it's all integrated together. So, oh, but before I do that, let me show you. Up in the top corner, in addition to our timer that's ticking down, here's that icon for the calculator. So if I had some math problems going on here, Sam could move it around on the screen, type in his stuff, get the answers, make the calculator disappear. Okay. All right. I'm going to hit submit and send in the answer. Okay. Yay. It was sent in successfully. Don't forget to turn your assignment in Microsoft Teams. Your students have to do 2 turn-ins. They need to turn it in on the BookWidgets side. So I'm going to hit OK. And then they also have to turn it in on the Microsoft Teams side. And you'll see here, I've also included the feedback. So because Sam got a score less than 70, here is his, additional information. Go keep trying. I could also link to another practice activity in this. It doesn't just have to be a website. You could make a whole lovely daisy chain of widgets, linked to widgets, linked to widgets. All right, so then I'm going to hit the X button, go back to my Microsoft Teams assignment, and I'm going to hit turn in. Yay, I've turned it in. And then I'll see my work has appeared here. And it is a PDF view, or no, not yet, because I have to return the work, but my students will see it momentarily. So let me pull Teresa back over, our teacher, and let me show you some really nifty things for submissions. So I notice that question number 4, the point value is really low. I am going to need to manually score this. But I see, for questions 1, 2, and 3, they've done pretty good. Things are in green. And in BookWidgets, I'm going to go to review. And then here is where I'll see all of my classes listed, and I'll see any recent submissions. I know that we are working with our 1.2a capital practice. I'm going to open that up. And very similar to the live view, I see in my reporting dashboard here an overview of the questions. How well did they do or not do? So I know, oh, question number 2, I need to go maybe do a little bit of remediation and instruction with them. Same thing with question 3. But then question 4, I have to score it. So what I can do is I can go into it by the question level. And now I can see question 4, all students listed. So here is Alex's question 4. Here is Sam's question 4. So this is really nice of kind of like making a stack that I can see all of just this one question so that I can give feedback on it. Let me show you. And then if I want to see the other questions, again, I can just kind of click through so I can see it. I can filter here so I can hide correct answers. So if I only need to see the things that folks have gotten wrong, I can do that filtering. I can also sort by name, submission date, and score. So let me exit out of the question view and come down here to the individual students. So for Alex, I've opened up Alex's paper. Same thing, I can filter. I can just hide correct answers. So I'm only looking at the things that Alex got wrong. And then if I need to download and save it as a PDF, I can do that. I don't want to return the work yet because I need to do some commenting on it. And I can also return a PDF copy of the work. So let's do some commenting. Good start. Keep practicing. Okay. So this is going to be a high level comment. As I come down, I can also do, let's keep going. I can do a comment here and say, you know, look closer at the pictures, and probably don't forget to scroll down as you're doing that one. And then here, love to visit. It's capital Fiji. The island is so remote and exotic. Okay. They've included, I can say some additional stuff and I can just say, okay, well, this answer is 10 out of 10 correct. Or I can say, well, maybe it's an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. If I want to make it a 9.5, I can do that. 9.6, I could do that. Okay. And then I can return the work to Alex. Return the work. Yes. All right. Now if I go, oops, I didn't want Alex to see this yet, I could reclaim the work and say, oh yeah, there was something else I needed to write. I could reclaim it from them. It's kind of like taking their paper back, and then submit it to them later. So for Sam, same thing. Don't want to return yet. So for Sam, come through and I'm going to say here. Notice when I click on this, I have a pop-up box that shows up. I can do some scoring labels. And if I click on, you can see I already have some created. If I click on the 3 dots, it will open up this correction labels menu. And then I can add some additional ones. So I can say elaborate, code, give it an E. And I could change the color. I'm going to hit save. So I see that Sam on this particular one made a capitalization error. So I'm just going to say CA, and you'll see it says cap 1 right there. All right, let's keep going down. Let's see for here. Oh, right here, there's some spelling. We also have capitalization. We have tower is also spelling and spelling. Try not to rush when typing. Okay. And I can see which words got in there. All right. And I can adjust the point value and can say it's a 5 out of 10. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to return the work to Sam. And we're going to return it. Again, if I need to reclaim it, I can do that. And let me let's go back to Sam. so that you can see what it looks like on his side. All right, so now Sam is getting, this is his feedback view. He sees the top level, keep trying. Here's the link to keep going. You can see what the points are and can also see, oh, here's that capitalization comment label. And then also down here, you can see that as well. So it's a really nice way to save yourself some time as you're grading to make things easier for yourself. Go back to Teams and we'll refresh on Teams. Yep, so you can see view assignment. And there. Okay. So let's go back to the teacher view because I want to show you just one other little bit before time runs out today. So again, saving you time and energy is the name of the game with BookWidgets. So under submissions, this drop-down icon will let you do some bulk actions. So you can select all the work. You can hide students that have not yet been submitted. You can reclaim returned work. You can send the score to Microsoft Teams. If you need to download PDFs for a record, so if you have IEPs, individual education plans, you can download PDFs of this, of their work. If you need to send it to parents, you can download the PDF. You can update any auto correction. So let's say like, oops, I made a mistake when I was making this widget and I didn't select the correct answer. If I go and edit my widget and then update it, I can also from here do update auto correction. I didn't make any mistakes, so I don't have to worry about it for this particular example here. So that's in a nutshell all the things with Microsoft Teams and BookWidgets. So I know it's a lot. Again, I encourage you to play and to be able to, practice with this so that you can do well. All right. So just to recap, connecting BookWidgets with your learning management system will enable you to see that live view. And live view, as we look here, kind of shows you like a bigger classroom view. Just think about playing games that you could be watching your students, solving puzzles, who could solve the fastest, who's completing the task the quickest, that you can see this very quickly. Then grading and feedback, same deal. You can see individual students. You can go in and score them collectively by question or one submission at a time. And with BookWidgets, you're bringing all the pieces together with those widget and question templates, auto grading, learning management system, and integration and real-time monitoring, and that reporting dashboard. All of it will save you time and energy. So some handy links. If you ever have a technical problem, you can always email us at support@bookwidgets.com and Frederick will be the one to reply. You can always say hi to him too. Our webinars page has our previous webinars that you can see any previous recordings. So if you missed out on Google Classroom or the web, or if you want to see our webinars in French or Dutch or German, you can navigate to our webinars page as well as see the webinars that are upcoming in the future. Tutorials and knowledge base are a great place to go exploring as well to seek your answers to any questions you have. And then the BookWidgets blog group. The blog is amazing because you can find so many articles on so many different topics. Here's our back to school guide, SDGs, so many different things. And within each one of these articles, we have the widgets are located in a group called the BookWidgets blog group. So any widget that has ever been featured in any of our blog posts is located in this folder here that's organized by topics. So back to school icebreakers. Ooh, you want to take a look at it and you're like, oh, bingo introduction game. Oh, that looks fun. I think I want to do this with my students. Well, then what you will do is come over here to the drop down menu, select duplicate, add it to your account, and then you can edit it and change it as you see fit. So if you don't already have the BookWidgets blog group added to your list of groups, when you're in bookwidgets.com, come up here to the icon that has the circle with the question mark. So zoom in for you. There it is. We have examples, tutorials, webinars, and knowledge base, as well as contact us. Click on, I'm going to show you first examples. Here is another place where you can get so much inspiration because we have an example of every type of widget activity. And if you go and do the drop-down menu, you can open it up. You can say, oh, I really like this. And then you can make a copy in my account. So that's another way to work smarter, not harder. And then to find that BookWidgets group, we're going to come up here to collaborate in the top bar. This is where you're going to see all the list of groups of which you may be a member of and your role within that group. And then if you would like to discover a group, so you want to join that BookWidgets blog group, go BookWidgets blog, and then bloop, there it is. And then you can add it to your group. If you want to collaborate with other teachers in your school or community, you can hit create new group and then invite them to it and then share widgets with one another that way. So again, lots of wonderful, fabulous things that you can do with BookWidgets. So last but not least is a gift for all of you for hanging out with me for so long today. So we have a gift card that you can claim for 6 months free usage of BookWidgets. And in order to claim that gift card, you got to do a couple of things. We need you to join our Teaching with BookWidgets Facebook group. You're going to create a post in that group. Share something you learned from today's webinar. Share the student link to a widget that you created and explain how you plan on using that widget. And then you can tag me also on that post so that I can go ahead and find it. I've dropped the link in the chat for the Facebook group and my profile on Facebook so that we can be friends. So, and one last thing for all of you before we stop the recording and go on to the Q&A is a session evaluation and certificate. So I'm going to drop this in the chat as well. Please fill that out. You only get that for being here live. But in the coming days, you will get an email from me that has the recording to today's webinar and the slides for today so that you have lots of resources to access. All right, so I want to thank you all for joining. I'm going to stop the recording and we'll do some Q&A.